Hey everybody, it's Mr. S, and today we're going over Lesson 8. Can a systems comparison help us understand what happened to the buffalo and wildebeest between 1975 and 2000? Our objective for today is to analyze and evaluate data from multiple sources to determine how biotic and abiotic interactions affect the quantity of organisms in an ecosystem. And what did we do last class? If you think back on Lesson 7, we explored the factors related to population trends and did that simulation. Saw what happened with the vaccine in the simulation and the rinderpest disease. And we explored how the factors of the ecosystem affect the population. Okay. So now just think about and review the past lesson a little bit. How can we conclude about the wildebeest and buffalo? Or what can we conclude about the wildebeest and buffalo? And what do we predict might happen after 1975? So I'm going to give you a minute to review your conclusions from the last lessons, Lesson 7 activity sheet, and kind of think through your notes a little bit and go ahead and reflect. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and fill in what did we do last time. And we agreed on some things in our last lesson. So what do you think we really still need to figure out? What are we still thinking about today? Okay, so now we're developing the plan. And so what do you think could we investigate in order to confirm our model from the last lesson? So now I want you to go to your student activity sheet and work on the warm-up questions, number 1 and 2. Okay, and if you can work with a partner if you'd like to. So spend a few minutes, pause the video, and review these 2 questions. So some of the things we might be thinking about or you might be thinking about for example, are we should read about studies of the buffalo and wildebeest in the Serengeti during this time, maybe. We should read about studies of similar species, population patterns, or we should make comparisons for why the buffalo and wildebeest populations changed after 1975. So if you had thought of any of those, you were on track. Okay, so now we are going to be working on this review activity. And in person, we would have had each team review one of these questions for each different time period by going through your notes. But because of distance learning and self-paced learning, I'm not sure who will get to this during distance learning. In this case, I have filled out the information for you. And so I want you to read through these main points. And take some notes, draw on your sheets about what are the main takeaways for each one of these. You can skim them and just get the main points from it, okay? And make sure you update your incremental modeling tracker as you do this and put down any additional points that you are missing. All right, and then this is what you'll be doing for the rest of class is there are a few readings that you can get to from this link. And first of all, this is one of the readings, just the graph, 2 graphs to compare, and then 2 readings to read. Okay, and there's a video of me reading these out loud that you can reference. So if you'd like to do that, you can follow along with the video as well. So you're going to use those readings and record any evidence you can gather that helps you compare the systems for the buffalo and wildebeest population changes after 1975. So, for example, I'll be reading this and I'll say, oh, okay, I read this and this has to do with rainfall. So I would put the name of the text, the time period it's talking about, that rainfall affects the population, and then a claim. So rainfall affects the population. So you should be able to do this pretty quickly for the 4 sources. here, and there's extra spaces if you want to include extra evidence. But if you don't fill out every space, it's okay. And then you'll kind of review all of the information once it's up here in answer number 5. To reviewing the evidence, we wrote systems comparison chart. Which causes have the most support for helping to explain what happened between 1975 and 2000? Which cause or causes has the most support for helping to explain what happened between 75? So which one of these is the most convincing? Then once you're finished with that, this is a space that you can start thinking of ideas for your mastery check. So here is the question. And so I want you to actually cite direct pieces of evidence, use complete sentences, and write a thorough and clear response, and demonstrate an understanding of the material and a strong explanation for the increase in buffalo population. And you'll have to score 80% to show mastery and to move on to the next topic. So, and to earn the full points for this. Okay? So, go ahead and get started. And remember, this is due on Schoology. So you'll find this assignment. And these readings are also read aloud on Schoology. So you'll find those there too. And then you can just think of some next steps. Okay, good luck with your mastery check in this lesson 8. And we'll see you soon.